Hello friends and welcome to today's video. Here I'm going to be walking you through the exact pitch that I used to close over 350 SMMA clients. I'm going to walk you through on screen all the words I used, and I'm actually going to present it to you and pitch it to you as if you were a prospect of mine, so you can feel exactly what it's like to be pitched by me. So I'm hoping that that gives you some inverted energy, if you'd like, so that you can have more confidence in your sales calls. I want this video to serve the purpose of you having clarity of thoughts on exactly how to pitch people so that you have that box ticked when it comes to building your company. My name's Charlie Morgan. I've built and scaled 2 companies, NorthFlow Consulting, marketing agency, 100k a month, consulting company called Imperium Acquisition, roughly 8 figures. Let's get into the video. All right, friends. So before I actually give you the pitch, a couple of quick frameworks. First one is concise. Second one is convicted. I don't mean convicted of a crime. I mean believing in what you sell. Okay. Less is more. What you're going to find with the pitch is it's short. It takes me about 1 to 2 minutes to present it, and I'll explain why and give you the reasoning into the psychology of the pitch and how it works. The main thing is the conviction. It doesn't matter how good you are at writing, it only matters how good you are at speaking, because you're not going to convince someone to buy your thing on a sales call with written words. They're spoken. And so the way that you speak them matters way more than what you actually say. So basically, Mr. Prospect, this is a 6-week training program. Okay. Now, the cool thing, the first 2 weeks are designed to make you back your investment and also put some cash in the bank. Now, this is exactly why I asked you how many people you have in your list, as we have created a proprietary strategy that makes it able for you to get anywhere between 3 to 10% of these people to book an appointment with you. So for you, I mean, you're looking at an easy, off the bat, 30 to 100 appointments in the door. And even if your closing rate's like 40%, then you'd still be looking at anywhere between an extra 15 to potentially 40 new members. And that, my friend, is without spending a single dollar on ads. And that's the beginning of the program. So before we've even done anything, you've got an extra 30 to 100 members or appointments for members. Now, in week 3, we help you completely transform and also systemize your marketing. So we're going to give you proven ads and proven automated text campaigns so that you're not spending hours and hours following up and trying to book appointments. The appointment process will be completely automated, okay? Now, typical stats, out of 100 leads, 80 are going to show for an appointment, and if you're closing 50%, that's 40 new members, near enough every single month, okay? And the result truly will be that, anywhere between 20 to 50 new members a month using this system, sometimes more, but I'd rather set your expectations and, potentially say you're going to get less. And that's basically all on autopilot, because we show you how to build the machine and it generates the leads and it gets them into the door without you having to lift a finger, okay? And in week 4, we're going to show you how you can actually convert over 80% of all of the appointments that come in using our sales system. So you can share this with your team members and everyone can improve on their sales. And week 5, I love week 5, it's about becoming a better business owner in general. All right, so here we're going to show you how to increase profit, how to increase efficiency, scaling the business properly, and so much more. But most importantly, we're focusing on the problem, which is how to build predictable and sustainable growth into the business. Week 6, 7-figure mindset, we're reprogramming your mind for high performance. But what we can see here is this program is basically designed to help a micro gym, one location, right? We're helping a gym owner who is way overworked and underpaid, right? And what they want is they just want a predictable way to get new people in the door. They don't want a miracle. They don't want to win the lottery. They just want to help more people in their community and introduce more and more people so they can ultimately build a business that sustains themselves, pays for their kids' college tuition, and allows them to go on more than one holiday a year. And that is exactly what we do. And as you can tell, I get a little bit excited pitching it because, dude, if you do this, that is exactly what you will have. So I'm happy to answer any questions. Hit me with them. That's the pitch. Notice the power of fucking conviction. Okay? I'm going to, off the top of my head, let me pitch you Imperium, right? So if we look at, right, let me just, this is not transparency alert. There is a link in the description you can click to buy my thing. I'm going to use Easy Grow, my product, as another example of how I just off the cuff, there's no script or anything, just how I would pitch a product I believe in, right? You don't have to buy Easy Grow. There's no fucking obligation. There's no webinar or anything. There's no 997 course. It's a high ticket course that is for a very specific type of person. If you've got clients and you're starting, but I don't want this to come across as like a Trojan horse thing. Just, I'm going to explain this program to you in the same way I just did so you have multiple examples to pull from. Mate, right, this, my friend, is Easy Grow. And this is your ticket to financial fucking freedom, my friend. This will change your life forever. And I know I sound like a bit of a madman saying that, but that's because I have personally spent near enough 1,000 hours building this, and I know that it's just amazing. So we start with Acquisition Genesis. What we're going to be doing here is completely transforming the way you think in your mind towards acquisition, but most importantly of all, we're building a solid offer. Now, these ain't just quick 10-minute videos. It's 3 hours long. It's going to take some work and some doing, but you watch this video, my friend, you will have a sales argument that is so bloody compelling that nobody will be able to say no to you. So we're going to solve that problem, get it sorted, get it dusted. Sales systems. Here we're giving you our entire sales process, right? All of our standard operating procedures, all of the training, all of our scripts, all the objection handling, everything in one so you can convert people reliably, consistently, gets you close to that 10K a month goal. Now, where we get a little bit excited is outbound systems. Here we have 7 different methods for booking appointments. Now, you, my friend, have told me that all you need to get to 10 grand a month is like 1 appointment a day. Well, I've got 7 ways for you to do that. 7. Not just 1, not just 2, not 3, not 4. 7. 7 different methods. Cold outbound, cold emails, cold DMs, cold calling. 2, 3 different ways of doing each of those. You can pick whichever one takes your fancy, and this will solve the problem. Dude, if you do this and you follow the instructions laid out in outbound systems, you will never, I swear it on my fucking life, you will never, ever, 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 ever have a problem with appointment booking ever again. If anything, you'll have the opposite problem where you have too many appointments. All right? Trust me, you're going to fucking love it. Once we've done outbound, we build inbound. Once you've got 1 to 2 to 3 appointments a day coming in, we want to start building something for the long term. We need you to have people coming to you. You can build a business to 10, 20, 30K a month with going to people, but you want to get to 7 figures, you need people coming to you. So we help you with YouTube, we help you with social content, we help you with podcasts, everything you could need. Don't worry about this for now because it doesn't apply to you too much, but it is there when you need it. Then we have some ad systems as well, which will help you book more appointments. Honestly, you're not going to, like, once you've built the outbound stuff, you won't need anything else, but we have it there as a fail-safe. But none of our clients fail, and they're all very safe, right? We also have masterclasses, stuff like that. So that's just, guys, back into normal Charlie mode. That's an example of conviction, right? When you're pitching, you need to lose yourself in the confidence, right? It shouldn't be a conscious thing. Now, bear in mind, I myself have done near enough 3,000 sales calls. So if I account for all my cold calling experience, all of my sales calls experience, and then all the time that I've spent building sales systems, doing sales training or sales coaching, I've put my 10,000 hours in. I can confidently say that I'm an expert at sales because I've put my 10,000 hours in, right? 3,000 hours of live calls, probably 1,500 to 2,000 hours of listening back to those calls, right? A couple of hundred, or if not thousands of hours of coaching people on sales, and a couple of hundred hours on coaching my team on sales, and all the cold calling I've ever done. I'm there, right? So for me, the conviction comes naturally. But in order for you to close, you need conciseness, you need conviction. So notice there, dude, I just walked you through basically Easy Grow. There are near enough 300 videos in here. What you'll notice is I'm not going through step by step. What I'm doing is I'm covering the key things that matter to you, and then I'm linking them back to your goal over and over again. The thing with a sales pitch, and listen to this, right? The thing with a sales pitch is you must consistently remind the person of why they should be buying your thing, and that is to solve the problem and achieve the goal they want. So throughout your pitch, you must litter the solution and the desire, because if you don't, they will lose track of why they buy, they will lose track of the value, and you won't be able to close them. I see people doing 10-minute sales pitches, going into the weeds and nitty-gritty stuff of their detail. Dude, I closed 350 clients with this pitch. It's a joke. It's like, it's 1 page, for crying out loud. There's no slideshow, there's no deck, nothing. I'm vague, I keep it open, I focus on the incentive and the interest, right? And then what I do at the end is I explain why it's such a good fit for them, I loop it back to their goal, I tell them that the program is exactly what they need to achieve their goal, and then I ask them if they've got any questions. This is where people go wrong. with sales. You want to say less during the pitch, and then what the prospect will do is they will start asking you questions about how it works. And what they will do is they will ask you very specific questions that give them the very specific knowledge they need to make a decision. And so what you have to understand is that, let's say there are 100 units of information to your product. The prospect might only need to understand 15% of that to feel comfortable making a decision. You understand the 100 units, but the prospect doesn't need the 100 units, right? Imagine it. You've got 100 units of information. What most people do with their sales pitch is they just give the prospect all 100 units. But what I prefer to do is give the prospect 5 units and then let the prospect pull from me the units they need to make the decision. This is the key thing to sales pitching, is you say less so the prospect asks you for more. And then that way the information you're feeding them is perfectly aligned with the information they need to have to make a decision and feel comfortable doing that. This is the big thing. Don't have a super long sales script, have a vague, high energy, concise 1 to 2 minute pitch, then ask them what they need to know to make a decision. Because then they'll be like, okay, so tell me about the marketing thing. And then you say, well, could you be more specific? What do you need to know about it? We're always looking for specific knowledge. Because if we can align, this is the thing, the prospect comes into the sales call unconsciously, they don't know this, but they have a set amount of things they need to know and understand and have confidence in to make a decision. And so if you tell them anything that it doesn't tick one of these boxes, you're giving them information which gives them doubt. Because if I tell you about everything in Easy Grow, chances are you don't need 80% of it. And so every time I feed you a piece of information you didn't need to know to make a decision, I sow a seed of doubt. Because then you start feeling like you're buying something that doesn't really matter. Are you with me? Is this making sense? I'm hoping it makes sense, right? Because failure to do this properly results in a confused prospect, results in a lack of conviction, and then before you know it, you're not closing and you're not converting. It's really important you get this right. I don't like slide decks. I don't do sales calls with video on. All I want is the prospect focused on the outcome they want. What's the problem? What's the desire? And that is what I build my entire pitch around. Charlie, why don't you do videos? I don't do video calls. Oh, but don't they help people trust you? No, they help people focus. I don't want the prospect looking at me. I don't want the prospect looking at my face. I want the prospect looking at the future they want to achieve. Because when it comes to a sales call, they're communicating with you as much as they're communicating with the future version of themselves they so desire. I don't want to distract them from that, right? It's important. You pitch them vaguely. You give them just a little bit of information, you tease them. They will then ask you what they need to know. You concisely, this is the thing, when you answer their questions, you need to be concise. Okay? Charlie, so just tell me about how the loom system works. Of course, that is an incredible question. We always gratify the question because it's pretty simple psychology. It's positive reinforcement. Someone does something you want them to do more of, you tell them that they've done a good job, right? Because ultimately we want the prospect to ask as many questions as they need to ask, because then they have more information to make a decision. So Charlie, tell me how the loom system works. That's a really good question, man, and I'm so glad you brought it up because it's one of my favorite systems. Very straightforward and simple. We show you how to automate loom recording, automate loom sending, and we give you all the standard operating procedures to have a virtual assistant run it. We give you all the stuff. You run it. You're going to book probably 1 to 2 appointments a day. It's going to help you get to that 10 grand a month mark much faster. I haven't really fucking answered that question, have I? I could go into a 10-minute tangent on how it works, but it's the same principle. I'm giving them enough information to feel like their question's been answered. And then if they say, oh, okay, well, tell me about the virtual assistants. How do you find them? Right? Then it's starting to become clear what matters to them. Right? Then I'd say, that's a really good question. We've got partnerships with virtual assistants that don't require any upfront payment, that are qualified, vetted, and speak English. Also, we've got all the standard operating procedures. So essentially, pretty much every single client uses a VA sourced by our partner. Does that answer your question? Okay, yeah, I think I understand that. Where are they based? Oh, they're based in the Philippines. You just answer directly. Just direct answer. The less you say, the more leverage you have. Because the more you say, the less your words mean. This is what people get wrong. And I know I'm ironic about this, fucking me making a 15-minute video that could have been condensed into probably 5 seconds. But with YouTube, it's different. With learning, it's different, right? Because more angles, more perspective, more words, typically it's going to be repeated, it goes in. With sales, directness is the secret, right? So you answer the question concisely. You don't tangent off. You don't tell stories. You don't go off on topic. You answer the specific question and then you shut up. Say, oh yeah, they're based in the Philippines. You're going to love them. Oh, I'm so excited. You just, and then they'll be like, oh, so you said it's a 6-week training program, right? Yeah, 6 weeks. Okay, and so what if I get to week 4 and I've got like too much work and I can't finish it? That's fine, man. We'd extend it for you. Okay, well, so you mentioned in like week 5, you talk about becoming a better business owner. What does that mean exactly? Well, it's really simple, man. We want to help you operate your company. What we realized is we got so good at helping people get members that the problem they had was managing the growth. And so what we're doing in week 5 is teaching you growth management strategies. Truth is, you don't have to worry about that for now. Let's just get you the members, and then you'll have the problem, we can solve it for you. We basically want to help you solve a problem you don't even know you have yet. Zoop. You shut up. Okay, and then they keep asking. And then after what could be 3 questions, what could be 15 questions, they will ask you the question that denotes they are ready to be closed. What's the price? Okay, what's the investment? That is the final. Once someone asks you, if you do this properly, right, they will ask you a series of questions, and then once they have a full enough understanding to make a decision, right, once they actually understand it well enough, and some prospects might have 3 questions, some might have 10, some might have 1, some might have 5. No, everybody's different. You remember we talked about the 100 units of information? Some people might need 90 units. Some people might need 5 of them. Some people might need just the pitch, right? It's different. But once they have the units of information they require and need, what happens is they will then say, okay, tell me the price, right? And then what you do is you just say the price. You say, okay, it's this. And you shut up. And then you might be sat in silence for like 5 minutes. And then they will either object or they'll give you a decision. And if they object, well, that's a story for another day. But that's how you get to the point where the prospect is primed and pitched and bitched. All right? It's important. Don't forget this. There's my script. It's out in the open. If I see anyone copy this word for word, I'll be very sad. Because if you've been watching my videos for any period of time, you will understand the level of disappointment. You will understand the level of disappointment that I will feel in you if you just copy and paste and you don't critically think this through. This was for gyms, by the way. If you need more clients, click the first link in the description. I love you. Please subscribe.